Kittle responded well from yesterday's workload. Did you ramp him up at all today, or could you?
No, he just, and it was kind of the same yesterday. He walked through yesterday, and we had all walk through today, so that's what allowed us to get him out there.
How far he's come in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's a lot better than it was 2 weeks ago, but still hoping he can get there.
Have to get the news out.
What's that? I'm noticing. Just trying to be patient.
Can you just talk for a few minutes?
You guys are usually very forthright when it comes to injuries, but you haven't been with Kittle. Is there a reason for?
I mean, if he was for sure had no chance of playing those last 2 weeks, then I would have said that, but he did. Not many people would have, but Kittle did. And this week, I think if it was a normal person, I'd probably make him doubtful. But Kittle's different than most people, and as I said, he won't allow me to rule him out too early because he keeps telling me he's going to surprise me by game day. And got a little bit more time this week, and he's a little bit ahead. So, I mean, I always tell the truth if I can and if I know the answer.
Raheem Mostert also good to go?
Raheem, yeah. Anybody I didn't mention is good to go.
Normal person would be doubtful. What makes Kittle just so extraordinary?
I think watch how he plays and watch how he walks around. I mean, I think we're all a little different, but he's unique, and you see it on the field. He has a personality where he goes 100 miles an hour in whatever he does. That's probably why he's going to have a WWE career after this. But what's cool is that's kind of who he is, and then you see it on the field. That's why whether he does perfect or not, he always makes plays with his attitude when the ball's in his hands, and it's just different. And last year he played with ribs all year. The fact that he did that in a game, most people would have been out right away, and he was able to come back and play in that first Arizona game for 3 quarters with nothing. So you can't rule Kittle out. He's earned it.
Some of the guys have said the Seattle game was a playoff-like atmosphere. I'm sure Sunday night will be similar. Given that you have a younger team, do you think it's beneficial to have these games in the season before January? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, and that's you need those games to get to January. I mean, it's the NFL comes down to the wire. You never. And by no means are we locked to go to the playoffs at all. That's why every game I see is a playoff game from here on out. The Seattle game definitely felt like it based off of the atmosphere and everything like that, based off the record of the team we were going against and everything, because I know people are expecting them to be there. But I felt the exact same way about the Arizona game. The atmosphere wasn't quite the same with it not being Monday Night Football and stuff, but that game was just as important as the one before, and I see everyone being like this from here on out.
We saw Robbie out there kicking a little bit today, but he's still listed as doubtful. What do you have to see, or it's
more just talking to him. I mean, we didn't practice special teams today. If you guys saw him kicking, this is part of his rehab routine. So he does a little bit. If he doesn't play, I know he'll try to do a little bit on Sunday. If it was another position, he would definitely be good enough to go. He would definitely be good enough to go. But like I was trying to explain earlier in the week, when it's a kicker, you never know until they get a few of those big kicks in a game, and you do that in pregame warm-ups, and they're out, and now you're in a big bind, and you don't have them for 5 weeks. So that's why he's the guy who it's a position we got to be delicate with.
Was that the first time he's kicked since the injury?
No, he's kicked a number of times. Each week he's tried to do it. Each week he tries to do it, and you see how it feels, and there's been a little pain, and each time he does it, it's a little bit better, and we're trying to get to where there's none.
With your injury situation, going back even to last week, was there ever any thought given to having CJ up to play special teams?
Definitely, yeah. If I think we were 2 guys away from that. I mean, we'll never go into you never dress the third quarterback, but if the other option is dressing 45 people, we would definitely dress 46 before doing that, and that would be CJ. And the neat thing about dressing CJ is he could help us on special teams. He's got the attitude, he knows how to do it, and he would give it all. You guys see how he plays quarterback. He could help us on special teams, so if it ever came to that, we would definitely get him in there.
In what capacity would that be? What would his role be on special teams?
Punt returner, kick returner, backup kicker. No, I mean, it probably wouldn't be a huge one, but we would use him if he was up.
What was
Was he your special teams practice or look team player last week?
Yeah, last week he got special teams player of the week for the scout team, giving real good looks at that. So CJ loves the physicality of this game, and he can run too.
With Ford out, do you anticipate that you'll have to make a roster move to address the sort of limited options you have at the end?
No, I don't see us making a roster move. A little too late right now, and we like what we got. We can mix guys up and get it done here until D Ford's back.
You guys knew that you'd have a few primetime games this season. You got flexed into this next one. You know, obviously every game means the same in terms of playoff positioning and whatnot, but, you know, how is it more special, or what do you see, how does it affect the players, the assistant coaches, or even just, you know, the other employees throughout the building?
I don't know. I try not to make too big of a deal about it. I think it's cool for an organization. I think it's cool for the fans. I think everyone likes to be on prime time and be the one game on. As I've said, I think players and coaches like when the rest of your peers, other players and coaches around the league can watch you. But no, I don't try to hype it up too much and make a big deal about it, because it's not once the ball's kicked. I mean, it's still the exact same game as any other game is, and they're all just as tough, and they all mean the exact same amount. I mean, when everyone's watching you, there might be more judgment, there might be more publicity the next day and during it, but that's stuff that really doesn't matter, so you try not to let it matter.
Do you get more feedback from, like, friends, family, other coaches the next day after?
Yeah, when you're the only team on, after a win, I get a lot of texts after a game. After a loss, you don't get as much. You get a couple. But after a win on like Monday night and stuff, you get a bunch, because everyone sees it, and not everyone sees all your games on Sundays.
You've talked about, you've learned a lot about this team through 9-1, resiliency and everything, but you're coming up on this historically brutal stretch. You're into ESPN stats and info. So, I mean, are you curious in any way of, like, you know, how you guys will handle this, because it is, you know, unlike anything you've had before, or do you feel like, hey, I know what we have here?
I mean, we know what we have here, but it is a lot of people's first time going through it. You know, we were just looking today. I think we have, you know, Quan was out, so like in our defensive meeting today, we were looking around, and I think we had 2 people in there that have had a winning record before, and Sherm and D Ford. You know, so and it hit me, and I was like, holy cow, and you go at that, and then that does surprise you. I did the same thing on offense, and we have a number of guys who have been places and have had a winning record before, but yeah, a lot of guys haven't been in this situation. What I try to remind guys of, when you don't know what this situation's like, everyone thinks how miserable being in this situation is when you're not playing for anything, and how tough it is. And it's the exact same when you're playing for everything, and people are telling you how good you are. The league is hard every year. It doesn't really matter what's going on. They're just different reasons why. And I just try to tell guys that if you get too caught up in the moment and stuff, it doesn't seem as much fun. And you need to make sure you enjoy this moment, because, I mean, 2 guys on the defense have had a winning record before. I don't know anyone in our building who's started out 8-0. And we have some people who've won Super Bowls, even some coaches and things like that. So you don't get to do this a lot. And if you sit and get consumed with what that means and where you're at, it's not fun, and you don't play as well. So you try to get guys to just know that all that matters is that you work and try to get better. And no matter who doesn't, there's going to be 31 teams at the end of this year not happy. And there's going to be 1 team who did it right. And no matter what happens, that's going to be the end result. And yeah, everyone hopes that's their team, but that's all you can think about, and just focus on getting better, doing it as good as you can. You do that week in and week out, then you can always live with the results.
How much does it help to get DJ Jones back, and what kind of year is he having?
I think DJ's had a great year. You know, when he's out there, I mean, in the run game and the pass game, he's a load, and he's hard to handle. You know, he's a pain for us in practice every week. You know, Richburg having to go against him through. Not throughout training camp, because Richburg had some time off, but all of our centers going against him. Like, he's always tough to deal with, and DJ's going to be a real good player in this league. He already has. We just got to keep him healthier so he can stay out there a little bit longer.
Has there been growth for him in terms of pass rush this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think he always has that ability. I think his stamina is getting better. I mean, he holds the A-gap all day. I think it helps. You know, we're penetrating a lot more. Which, you know, it's kind of you start off as a pass rush, react to run, which I think helps him get more opportunities as an A-gap player. But he is a stout dude who's always going to be good versus the run, and when he has the quickness and he's not tired, he can beat any center or guard.
What are some of the signatures of a Mike Pettin defense, and have they carried over from when you were with him in Cleveland?
Yeah, it's similar. I mean, everyone has the foundation of what they believe in, and Mike's as good a coordinator as there is. I mean, it's chaotic. There's a lot of stuff that they do. They have tons of personnel groupings. They have tons of fronts. They have tons of coverages. You have to be ready for any type of blitz. It could be 5-man overloads. It could be double corner blitz. I mean, they have everything, and he's not scared to use it at any time. When you go against stuff like that, you gotta realize there's going to be a bunch of bad play calls in the game, like where you didn't expect guys to be there, and it's going to happen, and they're going to have some big plays when that does happen, and you got to weather the storm and stay out there, because just like when offenses are real aggressive, you're also vulnerable for bad plays. So they're going to get some of theirs. We got to make sure we get some of ours, and it's always very competitive when you go against someone like Mike, because he is attacking every play, and that's what we like to do also. So it's going to be hit or miss usually for one team.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.